Tantor Audio presents Him by Carey Heywood, narrated by Lucy Rivers. Chapter 1. Present. After closing the refrigerator door, I pause, juice in hand, to look at my brother's wedding invitation. It's held up by a local pizza place's magnet, and I've looked at it at least 100 times. I should probably start packing. I'm normally so good at it, always prepared in advance for whatever trip I'm taking. This time is different. I'm headed home. When I got the save-the-date card a year ago, I called my brother, the groom. I tried to sell Brian on the idea of a destination wedding, someplace tropic, Aruba, or maybe Cabo. No, his fiancée, Christine, was set on Decatur, our hometown. Something about dreaming about getting married in the little white church there and having all of her friends and family with her. Ugh. There is no getting out of going. Kind of a requirement of being a sibling. Plus, Christine, the bride, wants me to be a bridesmaid. At least the bridesmaid dresses are pretty. I picture the pale blue dress hanging in my closet. I take a sip of my drink as I walk into the living room. Our condo has an amazing view of the Rockies from the picture window in the living room. Sawyer has her mat laid out in a patch of sunlight in our living room and is going through a series of yoga poses. I sit on the sofa, waiting for her to finish. After ending in a final child's pose, she turns to me, her gray-blue eyes bright. She rolls up her mat before joining me on the sofa, tucking her legs under her as she sits. "Dude, have you packed yet?" "Dude?" I cock my head at her. You never say dude. She blushes. Sawyer also never blushes. I pick up a pillow and throw it at her and laugh. But I know somebody who does. Don't change the subject. She avoids what I've said altogether. Packed yet? I flop back onto the arm of the sofa. No, I haven't. I groan. I don't want to go. I know I'm whining, but I really don't want to go. She stands, holding out her hand to help me off of the sofa, which is laughable considering how much smaller she is than me. Stop being a wuss. I let her pull me up. I'll help you pack. Fine. I grumble and follow her, my shoulders slumped the whole way to my room. I tried packing last night, and had gotten only as far as pulling down my shiny red rolling suitcase. It still stands, proudly, next to my closet. I lift it and lay it open across my bed. Sawyer buzzes around me, throwing stuff into it. I don't think I'll need so many dresses, I argue. You never know. Maybe you'll hook up with a groomsman. I pick up one of the dresses she's flung in my suitcase and neatly refold it. Unlikely. All but one are married or already have girlfriends. She smirks, lifting a brow. What? I shrug my shoulders. I asked Brian last time I talked to him. Even asked him the name of the only single guy, but he had to hang up before he could tell me. Why? Were you planning on practicing doodling his name on your binder? I roll my eyes. I don't do that. Right, Sarah. Your last real relationship was in high school. Can you repeat after me? High school. She uses air quotes. I've dated, I argue weakly. She gives me a look like, really? But I'm gaining speed. Yeah, remember that guy? What was his name? The one who had the 3-legged dog? She nods. That was a really cute dog. If I remember correctly, you spent more time with Rover than Jeremy. And why do I remember the name of the guy you dated and you don't? I look away. Did not. She keeps going. So, why did you stop seeing Jeremy? I lie. I forget. Sawyer's always been able to tell when I lie. Liar! You stopped seeing him because he flossed. Who does that? Who thinks flossing is a con? She says in disbelief. You know that's not why. It's not that he flossed. I like that he flossed. It's that he had to tell me every time he was going to go floss. Why? Why did he do that? Was he trying to prove something? Hey, look at me! I wave my hands in the air. I'm going to go floss now. Sawyer throws a pair of socks at my head. He was a dentist. You are a crazy person. I turn to pick up the socks from the floor and put them in the inside pocket of my suitcase. He just wasn't for me. I grin, looking up. I would have kept his dog, though. His name was Tank, by the way. Sawyer brings my bridesmaid dress out of the closet and sets it on top of everything else, folding it in the middle. I'm worried about you. I freeze. Why? She shakes her head. I know you, and I want you to know I am so proud of everything you have accomplished. But, I raise a brow. But? She takes a deep breath. But you are using your job as a reason to not cultivate human relationships. What? Human relationships? What are you, a robot? Don't argue. Besides, I predate your company. I'm grandfathered or whatever. And besides me, who do you talk to or hang out with? I spin my ring. I met Jared for lunch, like... She laughs. Sarah, you had lunch with Jared 6 months ago. We're going out tonight. I can't, I groan. I have to fly out early. I have that lumberyard account to set up before I go home. You aren't flying straight home? No, I shrug. It's work. You need to hire someone else to cut your workload down. This is too much for one person, babe. I'm fine. I can do it. She cuts me off. Yeah, 'cause then you couldn't hide behind your job anymore. We're still going out tonight. I'll have you home early. Why is this such a big deal? Sarah, when was the last time you had sex? I'm not sleeping with anyone tonight. Geez, dude, you need to loosen up. Aha, you just said dude again. She waves me off, walking back into my closet and pulling out a green dress. Go shower and wear this. She sets it on my bed before walking out of my room. I'm drying my hair when she comes back to check on my progress. Taking my brush from me, she starts playing with my hair. Hair has always been her thing. When I first met her, she had multiple pastel-shaded streaks. I think she's always wished I would let her dye my hair. I, on the other hand, am happy with my brown hair. She braids a chunk of it and pins it like a headband across the top of my head. We head to her car, a Hummer. It always makes me laugh because Sawyer is tiny and her car is huge. We head to a nearby restaurant bar. There is a live band playing. As we're seated, I notice the bassist nod in Sawyer's direction. Know him? Oh, that's James. He's cool. He's the one who lives part-time in France. We went out a couple times. Our server comes by to take our drink orders. Once he's gone, she looks up from her menu. What are you going to get? I shrug. Clam cakes or chicken Kiev? Haven't decided. You? The portobello mushroom pasta looks good. Hey, I forgot to ask, where's this lumber yard you're setting up? Just outside Newark. I wonder if anyone we know still lives out there. Helen moved to San Diego. Jake's still out there. Want his number? I'm sure he'd meet up for lunch or dinner. I grin. She's the only person I've ever met who is on good terms with all of her exes. I'm not going to be there long enough to hang out. Gotta get in, get out, and get to Atlanta. We order and hang out until our food arrives. The band takes a break, and James and another guy come over to sit with us. As close as James is sitting to Sawyer, I wonder if he hopes they'll hang out later tonight as well. His bandmate, the drummer, is named Trent and seems nice enough. They get up once our food comes to go play some more. So, what did you think of Trent? I hold up my hand as I finish my bite. He seemed nice. Her eyes widen. You don't think he's hot? I glance back over to the stage. I guess. He sure wears a lot of black. She laughs at me. Sweetheart, you could find an issue with any guy. Is anyone ever going to be good enough for you? I spin my ring, trying not to think about the blue eyes that owned me. Someday, I hedge. Who knows? We have another drink and stay to listen to the band for another hour before heading home. They are still on stage as we leave, and Sawyer catches James's eye as we are walking out and waving bye. I go right to bed when we get home, wondering if Sawyer will have company once James is done playing. She is something. Part of me wishes I could live like she does. So free. Everyone who meets her loves her. God, when Brian came out to visit once, I thought he was going to ask her out. That would have been just weird. He still asks how she's doing every time we talk. She has that effect on people. I, on the other hand, do not. There are no ex-boyfriends trying to track me down. I fall asleep, trying to think of anything other than my first love. Chapter 2. Past. It's our last day of school before spring break. I've already stopped by my locker, and I'm sitting on the floor next to Will as he rummages through his locker for something. Once he shuts the door, I stand. Click. Will, come on. I cover my face. Just one more picture, he pleads. I protest, but only half-heartedly. I can't say no to him, especially when he pouts. I can see his lips through the mesh of my fingers, his full, perfect lips. What I would give to feel them on mine. He has a girlfriend, I remind myself, before dropping my hands. I look right at him, and at the last second, cross my eyes. Dork. He still takes a picture. What? Is there something wrong with my face? I uncross my eyes and blink a few times. He snaps another picture and sticks his tongue out at me as he puts his camera in its case and the case into his backpack. So, will you come? Will asks, giving me that lopsided grin I can't say no to. Of course. I fake as much enthusiasm as possible. Crap. He's chewing on the corner of his bottom lip. He always does that when he's thinking. Maybe he's on to me. I exhale. I just don't think Jessica likes me. I look at my feet. She doesn't, he admits. My mouth drops open and my eyes flick to his. Then why do you want me to go? He shrugs, his typical non-answer. He closes his locker and picks up his book bag as we make our way to the side exit. I knew it. Why doesn't she like me? He's shaking his head. Don't worry about her. She's just jealous of you. I stop walking, stunned. Why? He rolls his eyes and I punch him in the arm. You're so violent. He grins, rubbing the spot I punched. I raise my brows. He still hasn't answered my question. He groans, tugging on my arm, so I start walking again. Fine, whatever. She thinks I'd rather hang out with you. I wrinkle my nose at him. We both know he would. I have no idea why he's even dating her. She's such a bitch. Will's looking everywhere but at me. Sometimes he seriously sucks at just spitting something out. So? I stop again. My hands are on my hips. You freely admit your girlfriend doesn't like me, but you still want me to go to the movies with the two of you and be a third wheel? He nods, like he's thrilled I've finally figured out 1 + 1 = 2. William Ethan Price. I pause between each part of his name. He totally hates it when I say his whole name. You are like need to go to a mental institution crazy if you think I'm going to go see a movie with you two. He turns to me, grabbing my hand and holds it in both of his. Please, Sarah, come on. You know you want to see this movie. I can't lie. I am completely affected by his touch. I am almost tingling all over just because he's holding my hand. Get it together, you pathetic loser, I tell myself. But he's won. I just can't say no to him. No matter how much it breaks my heart to see him with her, I'd do anything for him. Sometimes you just can't help it when you're in love with your best friend, and he has no idea. You're paying, and I want an icy, I grumble. He grins and gives the back of my hand an exaggerated kiss. My eyes widen as I feel his perfect lips on my skin. I think I must have forgotten how to breathe, because suddenly I'm somehow choking on air. Will drops my hand and thumps me on the back. How romantic. Not that I should be even wasting my time thinking about romance. He's not mine. I still don't get why you want me to go, I say, once I'm able to speak again. Honestly, I wish Jessica wasn't going, he mumbles. I smack his arm again. You're the one who's dating her, I exclaim. I'm thinking about breaking up with her. Do it. Do it, my brain shrieks. So, do you think I should? He looks at me, chewing the corner of his mouth. Yes! Look, Will, I feel really weird giving you advice on something like this. I mean, come on. I have like 0 dating experience. I think I like someone else. No. Who? I can't look at him. This conversation is like a roller coaster ride. First he tells me he's thinking about breaking up with Jessica, and now he might like someone else. I don't know if my heart can handle watching him date someone new all over again. He hasn't answered. Who is she? I keep my eyes forward and nudge his toe. I don't want to say. I don't think she likes me like that. My eyes snap to his. How is that even possible? He is only the sweetest, most wonderful, not to mention gorgeous guy in our school. Scratch that. State. Then she doesn't deserve you. He's chewing on the side of his bottom lip again. He pauses and shrugs before putting me in a headlock and walking like that with me down the hall. In vain, I try to push off his stomach, but he just laughs and keeps walking. He is so annoying sometimes. Turning my face towards his bicep, I lick it. He releases me with a stunned look on his face. I stretch my neck and stick my tongue out at him. I can't believe you just licked my arm, he stammers. You deserved it, I taunt. Oh, I am so going to get you, he says right before he rushes me. I scream, running out the door and into the school parking lot. Will is hot on my heels. I just barely make it to his car and drop my backpack on top of the trunk. His pace has slowed, and he lazily drops his on the hood. He has a very devious glint in his eyes. I'm in trouble. Big-time trouble. He starts towards the back of the car. I head towards the front of the car, saying, please don't, please don't. I have no idea what he has planned, and I don't want to find out. He's rubbing his hands together and doing his best impression of an evil laugh. It's making me laugh, and I kind of have to pee. This is bad. Promise you won't tickle me, I beg. No promises, Miller Lite. He moves closer. I scream again, and I'm at the back of his Jetta again. Gotta face the music, Sarah. There's no way you're getting out of this. He lunges for me, but I evade him by inches, just feeling the movement of air from his missed grasp on the back of my legs. I'm panting by the time I reach the front of the car. I look back at him and freeze. He's not there. Shit! Where the hell did he go? I crouch down to look under the car and don't hear him until it's too late, and I'm airborne. Before I know it, I'm hanging over his shoulder and he is racing to the field behind the parking lot. He flops me down on my back and sits on me straddle style. Oh my God! I yell. You're crushing me! He just grins and waggles his fingers at me. I try to buck him off of me, but he just laughs. Don't! I gasp. I swear I have to pee. If you tickle me while sitting on my bladder, I will never forgive you. He chews on the side of his bottom lip as he thinks it over. I'm still trying to push him off of me. Deal, he says suddenly. I promise I won't tickle you. I exhale and then gasp as his face drops to mine. Doesn't mean that I won't still have my revenge. He breathes. We are almost nose to nose. Is he going to kiss me? I'm just about to close my eyes and dissolve into this fantasy when his tongue comes out, and he proceeds to lick the side of my face from chin to temple. I'm horrified, and I must look it, because he falls off of me to one side, laughing. Your face. He's having issues breathing. You should have seen your face. I push at him and jump up, unable to suppress the involuntary shudder his revenge gives me. It only causes him to laugh even more. You are so gross, William, I huff, marching towards his car. He catches up with me and pulls me into a hug. You licked me first. I step on his foot, and he kisses the top of my head and lets me go. Pulling his keys out of his pocket, he unlocks his car. I grab my backpack and sink into the front seat. He throws his backpack in the back seat and gets in. I know he's looking at me, but I ignore him. He pushes my knee, and I shake my head, still refusing to look at him. "Aw, come on, Sarah. Don't be mad at me," he pleads. I huff and cross my arms over my chest. I'm trying my best to stay mad at him. It never lasts long, but he's making it easier right now because he still hasn't stopped laughing. He licked my face. Ugh. What bothers me the most is for a split second, I thought he was going to kiss me. I am probably more angry at myself than anything else. How could I even think that? I'm such an idiot. Want to press the button? I snort. He seriously thinks pressing the sunroof button is going to make everything all better? Well, if you don't want to, I will. He raises his hand. No, I'll press it, I shout, pushing his hand away and pressing the button. I wrinkle my nose at him. Damn him. He knows I love pressing that button. I look over at him. He's holding back a laugh, I can tell. I roll my eyes and smile at him. I can never stay mad at him. He grins at me and parks in front of my house. I dash inside and straight to the bathroom. It's a miracle I didn't pee when he sat on me. After I wash my hands, I wash my face, my just licked face. He is such a punk. When I come out of the bathroom, he is leaning on the wall opposite of it, grinning at me. I roll my eyes at him, and he follows me into our kitchen. I pop some popcorn, and we go sprawl out on the sofa in the family room to watch TV. He sits up when his phone rings. Hey. I mouth, who is it? He mouths back, Jessica. Ugh, I hate her. I look away, but I can't help but listen to what he's saying. You didn't have to do that. He looks at me. I shrug. But I don't even think she likes him. I look at him out the corner of my eye. He's staring at me and messing with his hair. I mouth at him, What? He shakes his head. I take out my phone and check my horoscope. Taurus. Love is in the air. If you are in a relationship, you'll find yourself feeling closer to that special someone. Single love awaits on the horizon. Once I'm done reading mine, I read Will's, Capricorn. Your imagination is on overdrive today. Relax, take a step back, and reevaluate your goals. It is possible something has changed that will realign your future plans. All right, fine. I'll ask her. He puts his other hand over the mouth of the phone. Jessica invited Kyle to come to the movies as your, date. My eyes widen. I can just tell her you don't like him and he doesn't have to come. My brows come together. Kyle Nelson? He chews the side of his bottom lip and nods. I'm okay going with Kyle. Will looks at me as though I started speaking in tongues. I smack his knee and point to his phone. He looks at me again before lifting his phone back to his ear. Yeah, Sarah says that's cool. He pauses as she speaks. No, I'll drive. There's no point taking two cars. He's looking at me again. I make a face at him, and he smiles. After Will hangs up, he stares at me. What? I didn't know you liked Kyle. I shrug. He's okay, I guess. I've never really hung out with him. Besides, I hate being the third wheel to you and whatever girl you end up dating. Maybe it'd be nice to have someone too. You never feel like a third wheel to me. I roll my eyes. There's no way he could understand. I turn onto my side, pulling the popcorn bowl in front of me and stretching my legs out onto Will's lap. He leans back and puts his feet on the coffee table, his hands resting on my calves. Every so often, he taps on my leg, a signal that he wants popcorn, and I turn to toss a couple in his direction. He's very good at catching them and always has the cutest "oh yeah" face after he does it. Are you wearing underwear? I'm amazed that my eyes are still actually in their sockets. I turn my head, incredulous. Excuse me? I can totally see your butt cheek. My mouth drops as my hand moves to press down the back of my shorts. I guess somehow they rode up when I laid down. Yes, I'm wearing underwear. He shakes his head, looking at my hand as it presses my shorts to my skin. It didn't look like it. Stop looking at my butt. Who's looking at your butt? Both of our heads turn to my brother, Brian, as he walks into the family room. Will is. I'm a total tattletale. Brian gives Will a weird look and goes to sit in a side chair closer to Will's side of the couch. He smacks Will across the top of his head as he walks past him, then points at him, then me, then back at him. Will nods, rubbing his head. It was like a whole conversation passed between them. I roll my eyes and pull the throw blanket off of the back of the couch, draping it over my torso and butt. Will just looks traumatized and keeps looking over at my brother every so often. He doesn't relax until Brian declares we are watching stupid shit and leaves the room. As soon as he is gone, Will looks at me. Holy shit, I thought he was going to kick my ass there for a second. I cover my mouth to stop from laughing. How's your head? He raises one brow at me, rubbing his head. You think that's funny? He reaches over to move the bowl of popcorn to the coffee table before grabbing my feet and tickling them. I'm kicking wildly, trying to get away, but he has a vice grip on my ankles with one hand. Finally, I give up trying to get away. Instead, I manage to roll up onto him so I can tickle him back. He releases my ankles when my fingertips push into his armpits. He tries to get away, but I'm pretty much in his lap at this point. Will tenses his arms close to his sides, so I can't even wiggle my fingers, but I can't remove them either. I tilt my head at him. Relax, Will. Nope, you're untrustworthy. I grin. He knows me too well. The second I would have been able to move my fingers, I was going to tickle him some more, but out of nowhere, he stands and plops me on my end of the couch, quickly sitting back down and covering himself with the throw blanket. What the hell? I give him a look. He shrugs, looking straight ahead. Are you cold? He doesn't say anything, just nods. I readjust my shorts in the hopes of eliminating any gaps. I can see him watching me out of the corner of his eye. What? I ask. You took my blanket. Will shifts in his seat before he balls it up and tosses it at me, hitting me in the face. You suck. He grins. Chapter 3. Present. Now boarding Zone 5. The announcement sounds like it's coming out of one of those fast food drive-through window speakers. I turn toward the sound and stand, reaching into my purse for my boarding pass. They had announced earlier that this was a full flight, so I had already volunteered to have my carry-on checked since I knew they would check it whether I wanted them to or not once I was boarding. I am heading home. This will be my first visit since after that night. I get in line to board the plane, that slow, awkward shuffle of passing everyone who is already seated, pausing as the people in front of me find their seats, all the while I chant a hopeful thought within my mind. Please, let me sit next to someone normal. Please, let me sit next to someone normal. I am flying home to Atlanta, Georgia. Can you still call a place home if you haven't lived or even visited there in years? I think to myself. Maybe I should call it the place I grew up.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?